Students, let us study today a new lesson called Conservation of Plants and Animals. So before we proceed, let us know a little about the plants, animals, etc. So in your previous classes, you have studied already about forest, plants, animals, etc. So all these, so the word indicates conservation of plants and animals. So if we come across our surroundings, maybe if you visited already to a forest, you can come to know from a microorganism till huge animals, wild animals will be protected in forest area. What is forest? A thick forest, small forest, etc. Forest is nothing but where the plants, different types of plants will be there and the different types of animals will be there, including, as I said, microorganisms also. All it will be included in an area that is called the forest, where the thick, huge trees will be present and maybe medicinal plants or maybe some of the trees are used for the furnitures or etc. To construct buildings, some of the trees will be used. And for example, medicinal value plants. So from the fungus or maybe bacteria, earthworm, etc. everything will be there in one area. So this is called a forest. So if we come across now at present, so now the present situation where we are hearing every day in news or maybe in television, etc. So about what topic? So we can observe flood in Madikeri region, we are flood in Kerala, or maybe drought in Gulbarga region. What is this all terms indicates? So some terms we can come to know now at present. So in the 2020, so flood is a main topic where, so what is the reason? Everything we are going to study in this chapter. Flood, desertification, drought, etc. These are the simple terms, but simple words, but the meaning is involved in meaning. So that is so what it is there. So why flood will take place, or maybe why drought, or why desertification. So all these answers will get in this chapter. So in our universe, if you take Earth, we have studied already about Earth. Earth is very beautiful planet where so living organism can survive because of its temperature, because the plants is available and oxygen, carbon dioxide, nitrogen, everything. So it will so protect and human being, etc. So Earth, it is a imagination. It's beautiful. Sometimes we'll draw with the blue and green in color that indication. So it's a huge plants are present in Earth's surface, and 75% totally in the Earth, 3/4 it is covered with the water. So there is a relation between biotic and abiotic component that we know. So that is we have studied already. And what is a forest also we have studied in your previous class. So now all these terms, so whether we require for the future generation or for us we want, yes, to survive in the atmosphere or in the surroundings or maybe in the earth's surface, we want plants because plants will give high amount of oxygen, so from where we can survive, and plants absorb carbon dioxide where we are exhaling, etc. All these are interrelated. So that's why, so in our nature, so surroundings if we take, it's very beautiful. So to protect that, it is our duty. So whatever the plants, whatever the animals, birds, fishes in aquatic, etc. everything in a systematic order. So everything is very beautiful and wonderful. So that's why, so whatever it is present in and around us, it is nothing but a nature. So nature gives everything. This is called a natural resources, water, soil, wind, etc. So including that, so these are reserved in the nature. So after the death of plants or animals, we can get fossil fuels like coal, petroleum also. So all these together is nothing but an earth. So or maybe it is a nature or it is an environment. Where in environment everything will be there. So as I said, so if you remove the plant or a tree, etc. again and again. So removing the plants or a tree in that area, clearing the forest area leads to a barren land. So how it will be? Leads to an desertification and deforestation. So afforestation, deforestation, reforestation. There are the three terms. Afforestation is nothing but growing a new plant or sapling in a one open area. That is called afforestation. Deforestation means clearing the forest area. Already the plants will be there, trees will be there. What we are doing? Because of our desire to construct huge buildings, to construct to prepare or maybe to produce different types of furnitures. So all these we require plants. That's why we will remove the plants and for our daily purpose. If we remove the plant again and again in one area, it leads to the that term is nothing but deforestation, clearing a forest area and making to that one open land for different purpose. So as I said, human being. So because of human being desire, we are removing nowadays all forest areas, are removing the plants, trees, etc. Where we are disturbing the land also, disturbing the animals, wildlife, etc. Everything. So removing the forest area is called deforestation. So then, if I remove the plant, imagine, so where we are studying. So if it is there, then what is our duty? Our duty is nothing but here, the term. So conservation of plants and animals. Today we are dealing with a lesson called conservation. Protecting plants and animals. So that is the reason you can observe here some of the animals are present, mountain, the plant, a tree, water, etc. Everything in a systematic order. So all these we want. So that's why it is our duty to conserve the plants and animals. So conserving the plants and animals. So as I said, we are studying the different topics. Imagine here it is a tree. So if I clear the forest area, imagine. So if this is imagine a huge tree. So if I cut the tree, so what it will remain? It will remain only the bottom portion everywhere. So if I remove the plant, maybe I won't get the oxygen, definitely. So where oxygen content will be less and carbon dioxide will be more. So only the bottom portion of the plant will remain with the land. So removing, for example, this is a huge tree. So clearing the forest area. We think here it is a forest area. So we are clearing this tree, and we cut the tree. So in that case, the reclaimed land. So removing or clearing the forest area is the called term deforestation. Deforestation. The term, keep in your mind the first term. So while conserving the plants and animals, why we should conserve plants and animals? Because, so if you are removing, clearing the forest area, so that term is called deforestation. Okay, I removed now. So I removed the plant or a tree, what will happen? So if I remove the plant, imagine the first term deforestation. So think, so I remove the plant or a tree, huge tree in one area. So after that, so if I remove, so there is a less plant, then there will be an increase. This is an atmosphere, increase in carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon dioxide will be more because, so if the plants are there, they will absorb carbon dioxide, they will undergo a process called photosynthesis. They prepare their own food using sunlight and chlorophyll. So they release oxygen. If there is no plant, increasing amount of carbon dioxide in atmosphere, and it leads to increase in temperature. For example, think this is an earth surface. So because of sunlight, the heat, the effect of heat, the water will start to evaporate. Because of evaporation, so this heat mixed with CO2 or carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide will trap the high temperature from the earth surface. So this temperature leads to an area. So where it will lead to a reduced rainfall. So there is a question in your textbook. So if I remove, so whether it will affect the rainfall? Definitely it will affect the rainfall. The reason is, so if I remove the plant, so as I said, carbon dioxide temperature of the, so content will be more. If it will trap the temperature, increasing in the temperature means they may reduce the rainfall. And so I removed all the plant. Now what will be there remaining on the earth's surface? So after I remove the plant everywhere, so there will be an barren land. So this leads to a term called drought. So drought, so you maybe heard about the word called drought. There is no rain. So maybe how we can identify? So the land will be broken like pieces. So these are the structures of the drought. So the land on the surface, the soil, so the topmost layer of the soil will be broken. So that is the word, the drought. So if I remove plant, so there maybe it will affect the rainfall and also a term called drought, because there is no rain. So if there is no rain leads to a term called drought. Which are the two terms we have studied? Deforestation, clearing forest area and make them into an open land for different activities. Second, drought. So if I remove the plant, carbon dioxide will be more, and if the carbon dioxide will trap the high heat from the earth's surface, so the increase in the temperature may affect the rainfall. Second term. And if I remove all the plants, so the topmost layer of the soil, so that is called everything will be like a barren land. This is nothing but drought. So these two terms, deforestation we have studied and drought. Then next one we will study the desertification. So if there is no plant, as I said, so it will may affect, that is one term, the drought, desertification, clearing the entire area. So if I remove the plant, now I will explain with a huge tree, also what is called desertification. So imagine this is a forest area, so trees are present. So these three, 1, 2, 3. So these three, so with the root, so this is a deep root will be there for the tree. So when I plug the total, when I remove the tree from the root surface itself, what will happen? So carefully, so if root will hold the soil properly, so if I remove on the root surface, so this is a huge root, imagine, this is the root. Okay, root consists of soil particles. So it consists of soil particles. So soil will hold the root. These roots will hold the soil firmly. Always root will hold the soil. When you remove the plant, when you remove the uprooting the plant or a tree, so then, so here everything, the topmost layer, crust of the earth, so it will be disturbed and all the layer of the soil will be disturbed. So the layer, the soil, different layers are present. So in that, if you uproot the plant, if you remove the tree from its place, so suddenly with the soil will come. So there will be remaining only the soil particles will be disturbed totally, the topmost layer. So there will be a mixing of the soil content. So this leads to a term desertification, where you are removing the plant or a tree, huge tree. In this area, if you uproot the tree, so there will be the disturbance in the topmost layer, that is called the crust, lithosphere. So where it leads to a term called desertification. Desertification. So the three terms we have studied now. So it's my duty to conserve plants and animals. What is conservation? Protecting in their place or in natural habitat we understood, so we learned the three terms. First one, it is called deforestation. Removing, clearing the forest area. Totally the tree is called trees. So that is called the deforestation. Second term, so if I remove the tree, there is an increased amount of carbon dioxide, and these carbon dioxide will trap the heat from the earth and it affect the rainfall. The third, so if I remove the plant or a tree, so it leads to a term called, if there is no rain, differently it leads to drought. The next one, so if I uproot the tree or a plant, the soil particle will come with the root itself. So I disturb the topmost layer, so where it leads to a term called desertification or a desert. So it leads to a term desertification, barren land. So where no plants, with the root only, so I'll uproot the plants or a tree, etc. So these are the three terms we have studied. Then, so what we can do? So how we can conserve the wildlife? Let us study one by one. So already we have completed the 3 points or the 3 words: deforestation, drought, desertification. So if it leads to day by day, so then it will be a threat to a human being also and all for the all living organisms. Next, so it's our duty to conserve the plants and forest life. The first one in that, conservation of forest and wildlife. So we'll come to the topic conservation of forest and wildlife. Let us know what is called biosphere. Biosphere is a part of the earth where living organisms will be existing. So all living organism is present in one entire part, that is called biosphere. Where can we see only plants or a tree? Can we see only mountain, etc.? No. We can observe the wild animals like elephant, lion, tiger, leopard, birds, etc. So all these will be in an area, specific area, maybe in the part of the earth. So that is called the biosphere. So conservation of forest and wildlife. So if I want to conserve the forest and wildlife, so which are the steps are there? Simply can I conserve the plants in my area, or maybe the forest, or maybe the plants, etc. So there is a systematic way to conserve a large area of the forest and wildlife. So you may think wildlife. Wildlife includes the 2 terms. So plants are also present and animals, including that term is called wildlife. Now there are 3 methods to conserve the forest and wildlife. So the first one is called wildlife sanctuary. Wildlife sanctuary. As I said, wildlife is nothing but plants, trees, and maybe the wild animals, etc., whichever present in an area. So now, wildlife sanctuary, what is the term? Each term keep in your mind, write down and learn. Wildlife sanctuary is the area, it is a protected area where the animals will be free to move in their natural habitat. Again I repeat, what is wildlife sanctuary? Wildlife sanctuary is an area, it is a protected area. It's not like a normal area, it is a protected area. This area is meant for the wildlife or animals. So the wildlife sanctuary is a protected area. We are giving a protection there to that area. So where the animals will move freely. So there will not be any hunting or poaching, etc. in that area. So that is nothing but wildlife sanctuary. The second term. For example, if we think here, whether it is a wildlife sanctuary, so wildlife sanctuary where the animals will be protected in area. So in natural habitat, I said this is a forest area, this is a natural habitat. Habitat means the animals where it will live. For us also, where we are staying, that is called the habitat. Here also, these animals will live freely, without hesitation, so without danger. So then it is called wildlife sanctuary. A protected area, so that is called wildlife sanctuary. The second one, may be heard about. So in our textbook given, Paheli and Bujo, they went to and visited their 7th standard where, so that is called Patmari Reservoir in Madhya Pradesh. So you can see a beautiful national park with a biosphere, reservoir, etc. So in the small area, so in that in Madhya Pradesh, there is an area where the Satpur National Park and maybe the Biosphere Reservoir, everything in a systematic order, a thick forest is present. It is protected by the government itself. So that is called the Pachmari Biosphere or Reservoir Sanctuary, etc. in Madhya Pradesh in India. National Park. What is the difference between these two? National Park is an reserved area. Here it is the term protected area. Protected place. So protecting animals in their natural habitat. But national park is reserved for wildlife, for plants and for animals. So where in the national park, so here also the animal can move in their natural habitat without any danger. So that is called the national park. So where we are protecting national park, especially all types of wildlife, in that it is a reserved area. So where hunting is banned, poaching is banned, etc. So this is a protected area. The third one. So from this also I can consider the forest and wildlife. So if I want to protect forest and wildlife, so there should be a wildlife sanctuary and maybe national park and then biosphere reserve. Biosphere, as I said, it is a part of the earth where the living organism exists. Here biosphere reserve. Reserve, the term, the biosphere reserve is the place where the entire land will be protected and reserved and everything for the wildlife, plant and animal, including the tribal people. So a huge area will be taken, maybe in the entire, this is an area, huge area where the plants or the wild plants or the wildlife, you can use the term wildlife with tribal people. So then, so they are, maybe they are also responsible, they will use the plants, etc. and they will protect the area. So this is called biosphere. This is a huge area. So that's why I said Pachmari Biosphere Reservoir in Madhya Pradesh. It includes a huge thick forest area where wildlife will be protected. So from these three terms, only from this term, so some we can see. Teacher, way we can protect like this, where we can create, a national park, can we create a construct and biosphere reservoir? So wherever you are present, so in that area also if you protect a few small plants or if you protect small insect, etc. So without disturbing their habitat, so then there is one advantage, or maybe we are giving something to our nature. So this is the three term. Wildlife sanctuary is a protected area for the wildlife, especially for animals, so they can move freely in their natural habitat. National park is a reserved area for wildlife where hunting is banned. The third one, biosphere reserve, where a huge area will be taken, so with the wildlife and with the tribal people will live there. So these are all the three, from these three, so we can conserve the forest and wild. This is just a method, a technique where we can protect the animals. So like wild animals, nowadays we cannot observe. So all animals is moving towards a city or etc. So the reason is urbanization. Urbanization means, so we want a huge building, constructing buildings, flat, etc. So then, so in that case we are removing all the forest area. So then, so where they should move? These animals, their place is nothing but the forest. So if you are removing, clearing the forest, they should move to an urban area only. So urbanization means, so we are removing the forest area and converting into an huge city or etc. So that is what than urbanization. All these forest fires, sometimes the animals will move from one place to another. That is sometimes naturally, sometimes it is man-made, hunting, poaching animals. So all these because of its skin, so because of its fur, because of its maybe ivory. So we kill many animals. So sometimes, so knowingly or unknowingly leads to different disturbance in the ecological system only. So that's why it's our duty to conserve forest and wildlife. Let us study now in detail about the national parks where it is present, biosphere is here, wildlife sanctuary, etc. And then, so we are going to learn in a different way, that is called what is flora and fauna.